You and I both know, and I think have a good understanding of the neocon mentality.
Yes.
So, will people like John Bolton, Victoria Nuland, Lindsey Graham, will they admit defeat? Do the neocons ever admit they were wrong?
No, if they admit they're wrong, they'd have to actually attenuate their policy. Their policy is focused on two things. First, I'm going to say this, I may get in trouble. They are neo-Marxists. They are not part of, they're like an abomination. They used to be Democrats, and they went to Republicans, and then they went back to the Democrats. And it's all about using national foreign policy with military, the use of military as its lead. And the idea is to insinuate military operations into everything to maintain control through chaos. It's chaotic. Remember, they want to, they've never seen a country they didn't want to invade. And for them, it's all about using very Orwellian, using the military in a form to keep the churn going, keeping the chaos going. And by having that chaos, they have control. It's all about control. It's another form of Marxism, using military tools as its primary method of insinuating the Marxist philosophy. But this is not democracy. They are an abomination to both parties. They have, Hillary Clinton's a neocon, and she's a Democrat.
Right.
Victoria Nuland's a Republican, sort of, and they are part of the permanent bureaucracy, which really wants to use militarized foreign policy as a method of insinuating U.S. control and input into all these nations. I'm a Reagan guy. I believe, as George Washington did, we should be not involved in foreign entanglements. They want the entanglements because that gives them power. At least that's their perception.
Last subject matter. President Zelensky's term in office expires next Tuesday, May 20th. What happens? Does American intelligence engineer a regime change? Somebody that Putin will talk to?
So since Ukraine's now our 51st state, Blinken has said that Zelensky's not going anywhere. I think Tony Blinken said in that conference, or one incidental to the one you showed earlier, that until, this is a great quote and completely wackadoodle, typical of the Biden folks. There'll be no elections for a new president until all of the Ukrainian territories return to control of Ukraine. So basically what they're saying is, as long as the Russians are fighting, we're not going to hold another election. That's apparently U.S. policy. So no matter what happens, Zelensky's not leaving because of any internal political process. He's going to be there held because of the neocons. Neocons are interfering, and will they get tired of Zelensky? Possibly. I think it's very possible that they'll sour on him, but he's doing what they want him to do right now, Judge. Why would you change puppets when your guy's doing what he's asked to do? So,
will a time come when the American State Department and West Wing, I guess after the election, so maybe it depends on the outcome of the election, recognizes that they should be talking to Putin? Lavrov would talk to Blinken at the drop of a hat, but Blinken won't talk to him.
No. I have to be a little bit careful because of who I talk to. There's no doubt that the moment a change in the White House happens, that is to say, if Trump wins, there would be a 180-degree change of policy. That engagement and diplomatic discussion would be instantly back on the table. As a matter of fact, I think you would see members of the transition team probably contacting the Russians, both officially and unofficially, saying, let's talk. And I think even that little opening would probably encourage Putin to stop moving forward. I think if you want to stop Putin moving forward, you talk to the man. And I think that's what the neocons know, and that's what they dread. They dread the idea that someone will come in, and an actual adult will come into the room and say, all you're playing with soldiers, all you academics who have no military background using the military for purposes of political gain. It's time to stop. And I think that's what they most dread, is that adult Donald Trump will come into the room and say, let's engage with the Russians. Let's figure out how to end this thing before more people die. And I think that's what they want.
I think that's a very astute analysis, Tony. Tony, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciated. Thanks for your analysis. We'll hope to see you again soon.